Hi everyone, my name is Alexa Chatia. I'm a senior majoring in PR and minoring in journalism. I'm here with Angelina Servik, a senior majoring in classical music education. Hi Angelina.
Hi.
Thank you for joining me.
Oh, thank you for the opportunity.
So I have a series of questions. First one is, what instrument do you play and what inspires you musically?
So my primary instrument is clarinet, but I also play piano, flute, saxophone, bass guitar. But I'm here for clarinet. Hopefully, I'll get to minor in piano. And what inspires me musically, I would say the emotions that I feel and that I have others feel when I play. It's so great when you're playing and you can feel the energy in the room completely change.
What music advice have you received that's been beneficial?
So, I would say this is kind of more leaning towards a general advice. This is just something I can think of. But my junior year, I took private lessons. Junior year of high school, I took private lessons on clarinet. And when I would be playing something, my lesson teacher, he would give me something to play, and I would say, oh, I can't do this, I can't do this. And he would always add in the word yet at the end of it. So it would be, I can't, comma, yet. And to me, that was him trying to get me into this growth mindset of like, you shouldn't just stop yourself right there. And you have to believe in yourself. And you have to just keep up with your persistence and you'll eventually get it.
That's good advice. How long have you been playing music and what led you to pursue a music degree?
So, ever since I was 3 years old, I was kind of self taught at piano. My dad taught me, how to play Ode to Joy on this electric keyboard. That was when I was 3. And then in 4th grade, I chose clarinet to play because I wanted to be like Squidward. and yeah, and then ever since then, I've kind of just continued on pursuing different instruments. So, like I said, I started bass guitar, and then I started singing in middle school. So, what led me to pursue a music major, specifically music education, was sophomore year of high school, was kind of when I was exposed to um, the dangers that music education around the nation were exposed to. When so throughout my life, I've been in music programs, whether it be theater, band, choir. I was in a rock band. And to me, sophomore year, when I heard that and I was exposed to it by my band director of like, yeah, music isn't, music is the first to be cut, basically, when there's budget cuts. It's almost always the first. And when I was exposed to that and I heard that, I was like, how how could somebody cut music? Music to me was so special and it was such a joy. And I just couldn't wrap my head around how people could think it was disposable. And I said, all right, well, how can I fix this? And I thought, well, the best way to kind of continue music is to teach it. So that's why I chose to go into music education.
As the president of NAFME, what advice would you offer to your fellow organization members and music students?
My advice would be to continue on with your persistence and that college is what you make of it. And if you have a goal in mind, never stop working towards that goal. Obviously, always be open minded. Your goals might change, and your values might change, but no matter what changes, never stop working towards what you believe in and what you want in life.
What made you choose William Patterson University?
Um, well, I didn't want a dorm. I'm kind of a homebody, so I like to, I didn't want to leave my cat and my dog. So I live in Wayne, and my band director went to William Patterson, and he recommended it, and we kind of just sat in his office, and we were going through colleges, so I was considering Montclair, William Patterson. Now I was even looking at NJCU and Rutgers, but those are kind of just secondary options. And it was between William Patterson and Montclair for me because I could commute to both easily. and I went on a music school tour of Montclair. And then I think my friend just took me around William Patterson. I kind of always known it because I've came to band day a couple times. So when I came back from Montclair, I, I just felt like it wasn't the right place for me. And then I went to William Patterson and I had my audition. Well, first I went to music major for a day in November of my senior year of high school. And I got to meet a lot of the people and I was like, wow, this is so fun. Everyone's so welcoming. And then I went to my audition, and when I played, I was playing in front of two people, and it was Mrs. Dr. Dempsey and Dr. McDonald. And I just remember the feeling in the room was just so welcoming. I wasn't even nervous. Like, I was just playing my stuff. And I think Mrs. Dr. Dempsey was like, oh, well, we can't wait to hear more of you. And I was like, oh, did I just make it in? So when I got the acceptance letter, I had an audition at Montclair. And once I got the acceptance letter from William Patterson, I canceled my audition at Montclair. I was like, I know where I want to go. And Montclair has a great program. I'm in no way saying they're bad, but I just knew that William Patterson was the right place for me just by the emotions that I felt there.
That's awesome. And how has attending William Patterson University impacted you so far?
Oh my God. I love William Patterson. It just made me it kind of helped me blossom into adulthood, I guess. When you go from high school to, you have a set schedule that's not set by you, but set by everyone else. And then you go to William Patterson and you're like, oh man, I have class, I have 2 hours to eat, and I have homework, and I have to figure out when to do all of that. And especially commuting, that kind of puts you into this responsibility mode of, okay, I need to take control of my life now. And I have all these tasks that I need to complete by the end of the semester. As a music major, you have juries, which, if you didn't know, are basically playing exams. They're almost like auditions in a way. And you have to prepare a piece or two, whatever you're preparing in your lessons. You have to play your scales. So you're expected to know all this, but nobody has a set schedule of when to practice. You have to figure that out yourself. And then you have to keep in touch with all your other classes. If you're in the honors college like I am, you have to make sure you're keeping up with your honors college requirements and civic engagement hours. So for me, coming to William Patterson, first of all, I love the school. I think it's very underrated. I think that the music program is outstanding. And for me, just coming here and being able to kind of take control of my life has impacted my own personal life by just making it a lot better, making it a lot more organized.
That's great. And what professor has influenced you the most so far?
So I don't want to say it was my lesson teacher, but it was my lesson teacher, Andy Lamy. Obviously I have an hour with him once a week, actually 2 hours because I'm in clarinet ensemble too. When I first came to William Patterson, I was kind of nervous to see like who my lesson teacher would be because I've only ever taken private lessons for 1 year. And when I first started working with him, he was kind of like my last lesson teacher in the sense of like, don't give up, which is always good. When you're a teacher, you don't want to just tell your students to give up. But I would say working with him has made me also so much more well-rounded in the music field. Like it inspired me to learn about classical music a lot more because he's in the New Jersey Symphony Orchestra. He is in the clarinet section. So I just kind of got more well-rounded in the music field. So now that he's in NJSO, I got to see NJSO a couple times. One time for free because he had extra tickets. So that, and just making me a better player, making me more confident in what I can do, and kind of giving me the motivation to get better because he's assigning me all these cool pieces and I'm like, wow, I really want to sound good on this. And I want to be able to just, play E flat melodic minor and just rip it. Like that's what I want to do. And obviously that's my goal. I'm working towards it. And I think I'm getting there. So I would say that he's made me a better player, better musician, and just a more well-rounded person.
What does willpower mean to you?
Willpower means strength to me. I think there's definitely to need or to have physical strength, you need mental strength, and vice versa. Just focusing on mental strength, because I feel like that has a lot more to do with college. Like I said, college is what you make of it. So you need to have that strength to know when you have to eat, when you have to take care of your responsibilities, and how to take care of your body and yourself. You know, self-care is so important. And we focus on that in NAFME a little bit, actually. We talk about self-care a lot, because especially as a musician, when you're taking maximum credits, maybe going over, and maximum credits to us means like 10 classes. So you need to have really serious mental strength and train yourself to be like, all right, don't get overwhelmed. It's okay if you do, but try to cut it down a little bit and try to have that strength to say, I can do it.
I absolutely agree. And you give great advice. Thank you so much, Angelina, for joining me, and congratulations on being December Student of the Month.
Oh,
And to stay tuned on college-wide news and events, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at WPACNJ and on Facebook at WPUCOAC. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Angelina.
Thank you.